It is Sunday, November 16th, and the capital of Mexico, including the National Palace, under siege this weekend. Full-blown riots to oust President Claudia Sheinbaum over her refusal to deal with the cartels, to do anything about them. President Trump saying, "I've all but made up my mind on military action in Venezuela." Which way is this going, folks?
The president of Mexico is furious. She's calling Mexican Senator Lily Tellez a traitor for coming on Fox Noticias with me a few days ago and saying this. Listen.
The help from the United States to fight the cartels in Mexico is absolutely welcome, and that is how the majority of Mexicans feel. The only ones who don't like that President Trump is sending help and trying to support Mexicans against the cartels are the narco politicians. That includes President Sheinbaum.
So it's been more than 6 months now since Mexico's president publicly rejected Trump's plan to send U.S. troops in and help eradicate the drug cartels. In an April call between Trump and Sheinbaum, Mexico's president, Trump made this offer, a proposal, direct assistance. He proposed sending American troops into Mexico. Give us the green light, Claudia, and we will solve this problem for you. But she rejected it. Why did she reject it? At the time, nobody was exactly sure. Well, we're now learning what the real reason is.
So Mexico is saying that I offered to send U.S. troops into Mexico to take care of the cartels. She wants to know, is that true? Do you think I'm going to answer that question?
That's why I'm asking. We'll see.
I will answer it. It's true. Absolutely. Because they are horrible people that have been killing people left and right, they've made a fortune on selling drugs and destroying our people. We lost 300,000 people last year to fentanyl and drugs. They're bad news. Yeah, that's true. If Mexico wanted help with the cartels, we would be honored to go in and do it. I told her that. I would be honored to go in and do it. The cartels are trying to destroy our country. They're evil. And, we had 300,000 people die last year from fentanyl and all of that. We had millions of people brought into this country that shouldn't be here. The cartels brought them in. So if she said that I offered to do that, she's 100% right.
Are you disappointed that she denied that request, that she doesn't want to?
Well, she's so afraid of the cartel she can't walk, so that's the reason. And I think she's a lovely woman. But the president of Mexico is a lovely woman. But she is so afraid of the cartels that she can't even think straight.
It's since become crystal clear that the Mexican government will not do anything to help permanently eradicate the cartels. Just like so many presidents before her, Claudia Sheinbaum's either scared of the cartels or she's in bed with them. There's evidence now on both sides to support either scenario being true. Meanwhile, Marco Rubio's State Department, they've been working around the clock down there in Mexico. They've had feelers out throughout Mexico for months looking for politicians to publicly pressure Sheinbaum to work with Trump, to fall in line. And things have been coming along. There's been progress made. Listen to what Mexican Senator Lily Tellez just said yesterday about this.
Is Mexico a narco state?
Yes, it is. And we all Mexicans know about it. And Mexicans are afraid of the alliance between the Mexican government and the cartels that have infested our nation.
Can you explain this alliance between the president, her party, the Morena party, and the cartels?
Yes, the party has financed, has given, the cartels have given so much money to these politicians, narco politicians of Morena, to get into office, to get the power. So they protect, the Mexican government protects the cartels. That is why President Sheinbaum doesn't want the strong American leadership to help Mexico defeat the cartels. And also Sheinbaum doesn't want the rest of the world to know what is happening here in Mexico. We are on the steps to be the next Venezuela. She is aligned with Venezuela's dictator, with Cuba, and we are losing our country. They have destroyed our Republican institutions, the democratic state, and we must I think we all Mexicans want and welcome the support of the United States to assist Mexican people against the cartels that have us all in this crisis with the traffic in fentanyl and migrants.
Now, that's what we know publicly from public reporting that the State Department's been putting this kind of pressure on Sheinbaum. What are they doing privately, covertly, to force the Mexicans to fall in line? We don't know exactly, but coincidentally, and to the bad fortune of Claudia Sheinbaum, Mexico has been rocked by a string of high-profile murders recently, all killed by the drug cartels. One in particular, one of those assassinations really setting things in motion. 2 weeks ago, the mayor of Urupan, Carlos Monzo, very popular with young Mexicans, a strong critic of the government, the Mexican government, and a vocal critic of the cartels, was publicly assassinated in front of everyone, setting off this wave of chaos throughout the country. At first, Mexicans were just demanding their president do something about the cartels, take some kind of action, Claudia Sheinbaum. But since she's done nothing at all, there's been now constant protests just ramping up for weeks, culminating in yesterday's riots in Mexico City at the presidential palace. Protesters chanting, "Carlos did not die, the government killed him," even tearing down barriers around the palace. That's the equivalent of the White House, folks, of the Capitol, of D.C. They tore down the metal fences the government erected, forcing the army to fall back into plastic shield mode. Around 120 people, including 100 police officers, have thus far been injured in the clashes. All of this, not so coincidentally, pushing Sheinbaum to agree to Trump's proposal. Trump, look, he won't just send in U.S. soldiers to Mexico. They're still our ally without Mexico's specific invitation. That's what he wants. He needs Sheinbaum to invite the U.S. in to permanently get rid of the drug cartels. This morning, Claudia Sheinbaum speaking and blaming the protests, though, on foreign actors. Apparently, she's still refusing, holding out on accepting Trump's help. Here's what she just said today, reacting to these riots. Watch.
Por eso, hoy que hubo una manifestación ahí en la Ciudad de México, donde dicen que marcharon jóvenes, pero en realidad había muy pocos jóvenes, y que de manera violenta quitaron unas vallas y rompieron vidrios, decimos no a la violencia. Si uno no está de acuerdo, hay que manifestarse de manera pacífica. Nunca hay que utilizar la violencia para cambiar. Siempre por la...
President Trump says he's sort of made up my mind on military action against Venezuela, speaking to reporters on Air Force One, but refusing to say what that decision is, saying, I can't tell you what it would be, but I sort of made up my mind. We'll see what happens.
On Venezuela, sir, you've had a lot of meetings on Venezuela. I know you can't tell us what your next steps will be, but can you say, have you made up your mind on what you'd like to do as far as action?
I sort of have made up my mind. But I can't tell you what it would be, but I sort of did.
What do you say to some of your supporters who might not be excited about another foreign campaign?
We'll see what happens. I can't tell you what it is, but we've made a lot of progress with Venezuela in terms of stopping drugs from pouring in. But we have a Mexico problem. We have a Colombia problem. Meaning Colombia, the country. We're doing very well.
This week, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, along with other Pentagon top brass, met with Trump to discuss his options for military strikes against Maduro, including land-based strikes. At present, the U.S. military, they have built up this significant military presence in the Caribbean, including fighter jets, warships, and troops. An aircraft carrier strike group was just relocated from the Mediterranean this week. The USS Gerald Ford, with 3 destroyer escorts, just joined our other naval forces that include 2 Iwo Jima amphibious ready groups and multiple warships. Why, may you ask, is Trump, the anti-war president, considering going to war with Venezuela? That's what the media would have you believe, right? Well, he's not. He's wielding power. That's what he's doing. He's using U.S. military power to naturally destabilize Venezuela. Whether you agree with that or you don't, that's what he's doing. And from my understanding, he has no plans at all of invading Venezuela. If he does order land-based strikes, it would only be in response to them striking first. And look, he's right now, our entire posture over there is pushing for some type of strike. He's trying to instigate something. That's what it seems like. Venezuela saying they're planning for imminent U.S. airstrikes to happen within hours or days, saying the hegemony, referring to the United States, understands that our country possesses the largest petroleum reserves in the world, as well as major gold, coltan, and nickel deposits. Of course, the U.S. wants to get its hands on all of those resources. Is that really the complete reason for this? It's part of the reason for sure, but so is Venezuela's all-weather strategic partnership with China, Russia, and Iran. In recent weeks, all three have come to Maduro's defense, along with their regional allies like Colombia, Brazil, and Mexico. Mexico now facing its own problems. Then look, the U.S. already selecting Venezuela's next president, Maria Corina Machado, the lady who just won the Nobel Peace Prize and posthumously awarded it to President Trump. Let me know what you think about this. Is this fight with Venezuela really about the drug cartels, or is it about regime change or ending socialism in our hemisphere like Trump spoke about during his State of the Union during his first term, or all of the above? I'd say all the above, and I think Trump believes he can pull it off without firing a single shot. We'll see. And look, with all of these threats from around the world, with the drug cartels fighting for their lives right now, it does raise the bar for threats against the homeland, which brings us to our sponsor for today, a company called Liberty Defense, ticker symbol LDDFF, who in just the last month has expanded into new international jurisdictions, signed as a customer one of the largest U.S. airports in the world, closed multiple sales, and I want to give you an urgent update, folks. Shares of this company, LDDFF, they're available on Interactive Active, Schwab, Fidelity, E-Trade, just to name a few. And despite it all, Liberty Defense's stock, ticker LDDFF, now down 85% in 8 months. Liberty Defense, they raised $45 million USD to date, and its current market cap is only $17 million, with the $45 million its management has developed and began commercializing one of the most competitive and innovative products of its kind, in my opinion, in accordance with Trump's TSA mandate and DHS requirements to make Americans safe and airports efficient and much more travel-friendly. Over the years, Liberty Defense raised millions of dollars at share prices 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and 12 times the current price. It raised $3.5 million USD in Q1 of this year, 2025, at 5 times or 500% higher than today's price. In October 2022, the company raised $5.1 million at $2.75 a share, compared with 33 cents Canadian today. In May 2023, the company raised $2 million at $3 a share, compared with 33 cents Canadian today. This is why this video is so important. Liberty Defense trades near all-time lows. This is the most important part, folks. Liberty Defense working closely with Trump's TSA in what could be a game-changing moment for the company. I want to explain the upside potential and the catalyst for Liberty Defense, because you see, its products are being consistently sold to new customers. Hexwave, for instance. From my standpoint, the most important reason I'm even featuring Liberty Defense to you now is because the TSA has issued a mandate that airports must, and I repeat, they must begin screening employees for explosive-type threats, including metallic and non-metallic threats. Hexwave was derived from cutting-edge MIT Lincoln Labs research and enhanced through partnerships with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the Transportation Security Administration, the TSA. Hexwave is a walk-through portal that uses millimeter wave technology, advanced 3D imaging, and AI to detect both metallic and non-metallic concealed threats. And unlike traditional metal detectors, which fail against plastic and 3D printed guns, Hexwave scans individuals in real time as they pass through, processing up to 700 people per hour without requiring them to remove their jackets or shoes or items in their pockets. Liberty Defense developed it, even winning a $500,000 award from the TSA, and commercialized the HexWave in September of 2023 with a price tag of $100,000 per unit. One of the first customers to purchase units was the Los Alamos National Labs, but the most incredible new development occurred when the TSA issued a mandate for roughly 173 airports around the country to screen their employees starting in April 2026. The second thing, HDAIT, High Definition Advanced Imaging Technology Upgrade Kit. Liberty Defense, they've also won this sole source contract from the TSA to develop an upgrade kit to the existing millimeter wave-based body scanners at the airport. As the TSA starts upgrading these airports over the coming years, this could generate over $100 million in potential sales for Liberty Defense, backed by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, co-developed with scientists at Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, funded in part by a TSA innovation grant, and already awarded a sole source contract to upgrade deployed checkpoint systems. The HD AIT kit represents the future of aviation security, with more than 1,000 units already deployed across the U.S. alone, but these machines are already showing their limitations. Rather than scrapping thousands of existing machines, the HD AIT kit retrofits current AIT scanners with new imaging hardware, advanced signal processing, and AI-based threat recognition. The result is like turning a 1990s TV into a modern 8K flat screen. And just so we're both on the same page, the TSA has awarded Liberty Defense a sole source contract, and the patented technology is exclusively licensed to Liberty Defense. What this means, at an estimated cost of $125,000 per upgrade kit, and with 1,000 units in need of upgrade in the US, another 600 to 1,000 abroad, is that for a company with a current market cap of $17 million, you could do the math yourself of thinking about those sales coming in the future, what kind of upside potential that could mean. Again, do your own research on Liberty Defense Holdings. Always do your own research. I'm just providing some of the information about the company, the market, the products. All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.